Enterprise security requires separating physical barriers, like locked doors, from logical controls, the specific software, network rules, and encryption protocols that actually protect digital assets. This diagram shows the CIA Triad, the foundational objective of every logical control. Confidentiality restricts data access to authorized individuals. Integrity provides the mathematical assurance that data remains perfectly accurate and unaltered. Finally, availability guarantees systems and data remain reliably accessible when needed. These three requirements provide the specific evaluation criteria for every logical control, ensuring that each tool implemented in a network serves a documented architectural purpose. To protect that architecture, we have to define the specific forces acting against it. A threat is any event, actor, or phenomenon with the potential to cause harm to the network. A vulnerability is the exact weak point or flaw within the system architecture that a threat could exploit. Risk is the measurable potential impact or damage caused when that threat successfully exploits that vulnerability. The entire purpose of implementing logical security is to sever this specific chain, stopping threats from finding vulnerabilities before they materialize as a risk to the CIA Triad. This graphic maps out identity and access management, enforcing the CIA Triad by controlling who accesses what. Identification asks, "Who are you?" Authentication verifies this to prove it. Finally, authorization grants specific permissions on what you're allowed to do. Access control is the ongoing active enforcement of those authorized permissions against network resources. This is a strict linear pipeline. If identification, authentication, or authorization fails, the entire architectural bedrock of the CIA Triad collapses. Proving an identity requires multi-factor authentication, or MFA. A single password is a vulnerability. MFA demands 2 or more distinct proofs of identity. These proofs fall into 5 categories: something you know, like a password; something you have, like a smart card; something you are, using biometrics; somewhere you are, verified by GPS; and something you do, like a specific typing pattern. Authenticator apps generate time-based tokens on a phone, but strict military environments require hard tokens, physical devices like YubiKeys that cannot be intercepted remotely. At the enterprise operating system level, Windows Hello provides a localized authentication solution using biometrics or a PIN tied directly to the device hardware. Using FIDO2 keys and localized biometrics, Windows Hello eliminates cloud password reuse entirely. Relying on single-factor passwords leaves a network structurally unsound. Modern identity verification requires layering distinct, non-replicable proofs to confirm access. When physical and access controls are bypassed, cryptography serves as the mathematical defense layer protecting data state, identity, and transit. The first tool is hashing, such as SHA-256. This is a one-way mathematical process that creates a fixed-length digital fingerprint of data. Once processed, the original input cannot be reconstructed. The primary enterprise use case for hashing is secure password storage. Systems compare hashes during login, meaning they never store or transmit plain-text passwords. Symmetric encryption, like AES, uses a single shared secret key to both encrypt and decrypt data. Because it requires only one key, symmetric encryption is incredibly fast, making it the standard for bulk data storage and securing Wi-Fi connections via WPA3. Asymmetric encryption, like RSA, uses a mathematically linked pair, a public key to encrypt a message, and a distinct private key to decrypt it. This dual key system is slower, but it is critical for secure key exchange over HTTPS and for creating digital signatures that verify a sender's exact identity. These 3 tools serve distinct functions. Attempting to decrypt a one-way hash or using asymmetric cryptography for bulk data breaks the enterprise security model. Once a user is authenticated and secured cryptographically, the system must enforce strict authorization rules to restrict their actions. This relies on the principle of least privilege, which dictates that users receive only the exact access required for their role. This is paired with implicit deny, meaning access is denied by default unless an access control list explicitly allows it. Locally, Windows enforces this via built-in security groups. Administrators have full system control, while standard users can only run apps and modify personal settings. User Account Control, or UAC, is an OS-level prompt enforcing least privilege. It forces a pause, requiring administrative approval before allowing critical system changes. Scaling this logic from a single laptop to a global enterprise requires Active Directory and domain controllers, which manage authentication across thousands of machines simultaneously. Administrators use group policy applied to organizational units to force security rules, dictate software installations, and mandate password complexity down to every endpoint on the network. Active Directory and group policy allow IT architects to take the principle of least privilege and scale it into a massive, unified global network. The traditional security model relied on a static perimeter, assuming that once a user passed the initial IAM check and entered the network, they could be trusted. That assumption is now obsolete. This diagram outlines the modern standard known as Zero Trust, operating on the exact opposite principle: never trust, always verify. Zero Trust assumes threats already exist inside the network, requiring continuous cryptographic verification of every action and microsegmentation to isolate internal zones. This circular workflow visualizes applying dynamic permissions using just-in-time, or JIT, access, eliminating the vulnerability of always-on administrator accounts. JIT grants elevated privileges based on strict justification, which automatically expire and revoke themselves the moment the assigned task or time window concludes. Modern logical security functions as a dynamic, self-evaluating engine, using cryptography and zero-trust policies to enforce the CIA Triad in real time.